Alright, what's going on, guys? So the video you're about to watch is a video that I shot a little over a year ago in my driveway at the house in Quincy. I needed to adjust my automatic cam chain tensioner because I was getting that cowie click, and so I decided to document everything that I did, but for whatever reason I didn't put everything together and I never uploaded the video. So why is this being uploaded now? Well, I recently talked to an individual who I've known for probably 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. Who I've helped out in the past, who I've done things for. He has the same bike, and he asked me about it. And I had done it before, so I talked to him about it. So I gave him my advice, told him I had done it, what I had to do, and that it was a pain in the ass. So that was last weekend before last, so the day of the meetup. And on Monday, this past Monday, I was going through my hard drive and I found the folder where I had all my footage, my time-lapse, my footage of doing everything. I was like, oh shit, there it is. Oh wow, I wish I would have known that. I could have thrown it together and put it up and he could have seen it. So on Tuesday, I get told that I need to go watch a certain live stream and go to about 12 minutes and 20 seconds. So I go to it, and the person who I had tried to give advice to and told about what I did basically proceeded to say that I was full of shit. I had no idea what he was talking about when I asked him, or when he asked me, and that I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm not going to go on a tirade. I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to fucking burn a house down. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm basically just going to show you a quick clip of why I'm aggravated, and then you're going to see the video of me doing it, because apparently I've never done it and have no idea what I'm talking about. But you're about to watch me do it. So proof is in the pudding, people. You're going to get to watch it here in a few seconds. So I'm going to roll the clip of the individual talking shit about me and calling me a liar, and then you guys will see that I'm not a liar and I have no reason to lie. So enjoy the video, and hopefully for those of you who are experiencing a similar issue like this, I would assume it's pretty similar across the board in regards to cam chain tensioners, OEM cam chain tensioners on most motorcycles. I would assume that they're not too different, especially if it's the same type of automatic cam chain tensioner that is on my bike. So if you have a cowie, this works great for you. Cowies are notorious for the cowie click, so now you're going to get your fix and see exactly how to do it. So enjoy the video, guys, and I'm not going to lie to you, okay? I'm not going to lie. Apparently people think I do, but I'm not going to lie. Have a good one, guys.
I asked somebody who's got the same model year as my bike. They supposedly had done it. I had no idea what I was talking about when I mentioned certain things about doing it. So he's fucking full of shit. He's never adjusted it on his bike. Like, you know who I'm referring to. Yeah. And so it's just like, especially with shit like this, don't fucking say you know what you're doing.
Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be adjusting my automatic cam chain tensioner, which is the OEM cam chain tensioner on my 2005 Kawasaki Ninja 636. Now, those of you who are roughly familiar in the motorcycle industry, you know that Kawasaki's are notorious for getting what's called the cowie click. Basically, it's whenever the cam chain tensioner is not putting enough tension on the cam chain and it starts to kind of slap around, and you can hear it whenever it's running. If you don't know what it sounds like, I'm going to start the bike up here for you in a second. I'll bring the camera a little bit closer so you can hear it. But basically, there is a way to, instead of replacing the cam chain tensioner, you can adjust it. I'm not going to go too in-depth on how you do that now. I'm going to pop off the tank in the airbox and try and get in there and show you. Unfortunately for my bike, it is in a very terrible location. Most sport bikes have the cam chain tensioner very easy to access. It's usually right next to the clutch basket on the right side. Mine, not so much. It's on the right side, but it's actually hidden behind the frame underneath the tank in the airbox. I've adjusted it before. Basically all I did was pop up the tank and use a long socket wrench with an elbow joint and then an actual wrench to get in there. It was really tough, really annoying, so I'm going to pop the tank off, pop the airbox off, and see if that gives me a little bit easier access to the cam chain tensioner. I looked online and really found nothing on this, so I wanted to kind of make a video for those of you who have this bike as the trash truck goes down the street and it's loud as shit. But for those of you who have this bike, you're hearing that cowie click, you don't really know what it is, I'm going to show you what it is and hopefully show you guys how to fix it today. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the camera over here, start up the bike and let you hear it. Alright guys, so this is what it sounds like whenever you need to either replace or adjust your cam chain tensioner. And those of you who have this problem and don't know what it is, as soon as I start this bike, you are going to know what I'm talking about. So go ahead and listen. Whenever you hear, don't listen to the engine noise, you're going to hear a really like loud, quick ticking noise. That's what the problem is. So that noise right there, where you can hear the ticking, that is the cam chain tensioner. Now those of you that have this problem, you're probably thinking, holy shit, that's exactly what my bike sounds like. Now I know what it is. If you're getting that sound, that's exactly what it is. You just need to either adjust, or if it's already been adjusted a few times by maybe the previous owner or something like that, replace it with either another automatic OEM cam chain tensioner, or you can buy what's called the 8 manual cam chain tensioner, where you can dial it into where it needs to be, and then eventually, once it loosens up, you can go back in, tighten it right back up. Like I said, you can manually adjust these automatic cam chain tensioners. You're basically just helping it out, helping it adjust itself. Like I said, I'm not going to go too in depth with that right now. Once we get in there, I'll get in there and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But as of right now, I'm going to take the tank off. The tank has one bolt here, one bolt there on the other side. Then you have top bolt, and then there's going to be like a pivot bolt right underneath the seat. So you're going to have to pop the seat off, pop those little black side fairings off, and then there's literally one bolt, unscrew it, and then that slides out. And basically, once you've taken the 2 bolts on the side, one up on the front, and then that middle, the whole tank will just pop right off. Then you just got to disconnect your fuel line and put it in a safe spot. But that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, so that right there is the cam chain tensioner. You see the one main bolt in the middle. That's what's actually pushing up against the chain. And the bolts to the side, that's what's locking it in. Now if you thread those 2 bolts out slowly, each one, eventually you're going to hear a click. And that's going to be the cam chain, the automatic cam chain tensioner actually adjusting. So you see I have the tank off, airbox off. Figured I was already in here so I'd clean up a little bit. But basically you thread each one of those bolts out, and then eventually you're going to hear a click. Once it clicks, thread them both back in tight, and then put everything back on, and hopefully that's all the adjustment you need, and you'll be able to tell right away. You're going to have that sound in the beginning. It's going to be completely gone. The only sound you're going to have is the mechanical sound of the engine working. So once you do that, hopefully that's all you need to do. Like I said, this model is actually tucked in right back here, so you're going to need an extension. It's really tucked back in there, so hopefully I can get back in there and adjust it. So like I said, thread each one of the side bolts, thread them out, and once you hear the click, put them right back in. Now we're going to try that.
Broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul. I'll be there. Never leaving.
Alright, so as you can see, tank off, airbox off, had to unlink the throttle bodies, and still couldn't get to the bottom of the cam chain tensioner, which that is it right there. That little piece that you're looking at right in front of you, that one right there. It's got a big bolt in the middle. Focus, focus, focus. So it's got a big bolt in the middle, which is right here, and then the bottom bolt right there, and then there's another bolt right on top, right above the middle bolt. I was able to get access to the top bolt, and I was not able to get access to the bottom bolt, so popped off the fairing, and luckily, boom, there she is. So this should be about done. Then I gotta put all the shit back on, which is going to be interesting to say the least, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and like I said, loosen up top and bottom evenly, and then once you hear a click, tighten them back on, and then you're good. Unfortunately, where this is so hard to get to, and I had to take off so much stuff to get there, it's I wish that it wasn't that hard, because now after you do that and you get the one click, what you need to do is you need to fire up and see if you hear the noise. So unfortunately I have to put all this shit back on and able to fire her up. So if I need to do another click, I'm kind of fucked. So fairing, tank, airbox. So the size on the bolts on the top and bottom of the cam chain tensioner, it is a they're both 8s, so you're going to need a wrench to get to this one, but the top one I was able to get to with a very, very small socket. Yeah, so loosen them. Once you hear a click, put them back on, and then you should be good. Jesus, this has been a lot of work. All right, she's all done. Like I said, I mean, it's simple once you're able to get to it. I was able to do this with my buddy last year with like an elbow joint on a really long socket wrench. It's really just a pain in the ass to get there. I thought that this way might be a little bit easier, popping off the tank in the airbox, and I didn't realize I was gonna have to remove the throttle bodies to get there. But yeah, fucking A, man. This has been one hell of a job, so fingers crossed. Like I said, I did it twice, and I pulled them back, and I actually got 2 clicks. Mine was pretty loose, so that should be good for me. So now I'm just going to put everything back together, and hopefully this does what I need it to do. If not, I'm gonna be pissed. Alright guys, let's put it back together. Alright, so put the throttle bodies back on top of the engine, put the airbox back on top of the throttle bodies, and just pop the tank on and plugged everything in. That way I could just test it before I went ahead and tightened everything down. That way if I was an idiot and missed a connection or something like that, it wouldn't be so hard to get to. So really the only hard part about this job, if I had the correct tools, I probably could have found a way to squeeze in there, but the real hard part about this job was really taking everything off was easy. It was more so just putting the throttle bodies back on top of the engine. The clamps that are used to actually clamp down the throttle bodies on top of the engine are very tricky. That was really the only problem that I had, and it really just took me about 10 minutes to actually get both clamps on, because the way it works is there's a clamp around each throttle body, so there's 4 throttle bodies, and those 2 clamps like connect together to clamp down onto 2 of the throttle bodies together. So there's 2 clamps, but like getting them to fit on top of each other and have the bolt actually go in was a little bit difficult. But other than that, everything kind of just went right back on, and now we have to test and see if it actually works. So I'm gonna fire up the bike, and that ticking sound should be gone. All right, moment of truth. Turn the key, and please remember to plug in your fuel pump. This right here, this little guy, that's the power supply for your fuel pump. So if you don't plug that in, you're not gonna get anything. So here we go. Well, looks like it worked. I'm not getting any chain rattle from inside of the engine, which is a very good thing. I can just hear my lovely Competition Sports exhaust. Yeah, I'll get the camera a little bit closer, maybe you can hear it better. You can see that seemed to fix the problem that I was having with the cam chain tensioner. Not putting enough tension on the chain that was causing the slack to kind of bang around the chain, which was that noise that we were hearing. So that's how I did it. You can get a manual cam chain tensioner, but I don't even want to know how annoying it would have been to actually install a new one onto that, because just adjusting that one was incredibly difficult to get to. I mean, I had to remove the throttle bodies off of the engine to even barely be able to squeeze a small wrench and a tiny little socket wrench inside of there to actually do it. So your call. Adjusting it is simple. Getting to is what's hard. Like I said, top, bottom, pull them out, you'll hear a click, put them right back in, and all of that work you did, hopefully it works out. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a bitch to make, so I really hope you enjoy it. But yeah, that's really it. So if you guys have any questions, leave comments down in the comment section. I'll be happy to tell you guys anything that I had to do to get in that you may have not seen in the video. I know the time lapse is going to be a little bit short because the GoPro somehow ran out of memory. But leave any comments you might have down in the description. This is going to be the same for pretty much any sport bike. And 99% of sport bikes, it's a lot easier to get to your cam chain tensioner than mine is. So let me know if you have any questions down in the comments section, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.